huge, heavy, and medium speed, but the Mi-323 was expected to help the Nazis land in England in the early stages of the war. But things were not what the Berlin generals thought. With a maximum takeoff weight of 43 tons, the Mi-323 was an amazing aviation achievement of its time, but unfortunately, it was not successful on the battlefield. Born in 1941, the Nazi super heavy transport aircraft, the Messerschmitt Mi-323 is considered the largest transport aircraft ever used in the World War II. The Mi-323 was designed to carry heavy cargo such as tanks, armored vehicles, etc. across the strait to attack Britain during Operation Sea Lion. However, because the Luftwaffe could not control the skies, Operation Sea Lion never took place, and the aircraft was only produced from 1941 to 1942 before being abandoned with the campaign against Britain. The Mi-323 was designed at the beginning of the war, when the Nazis were struggling to find a way to get tanks, artillery, and troops across the English Channel to capture London. With 6 engines on 55 meters long wings and a maximum takeoff weight of more than 43 tons, the Mi-323 Gigant was an incredible aeronautical achievement. The aircraft had doors in the nose to bring tanks, artillery, and soldiers inside, and had a maximum range of 1,100 kilometers. However, it was a large and extremely slow aircraft. The Mi-323 was a part variant of the Mi-321 military glider. A total of 213 were made, 15 being converted from the Mi-321. Like the Mi-321, the Mi-323 had massive, semi-cantilever, high-mounted wings which were braced from the fuselage out to the middle of the wing. To reduce weight and save aluminum, much of the wing was made of plywood and fabric, while the fuselage was of Meter 2 construction with wooden spars and covered with dope fabric, with heavy bracing in the floor to support the payload. The crew of 5, 2 pilots, 2 flight engineers, and a radio operator. 2 gunners could also be carried. The flight engineers occupied 2 small cabins, one in each wing between the inboard and center engines. The engineers were intended to monitor engine synchronization and allow the pilot to fly without worrying about engine status, although the pilot could override the engineer's decisions on engine and propeller control. The Mi-323 had a maximum speed of only 219 km per hour at sea level. It was armed with 5 13mm MG-131 machine guns, firing from a dorsal position behind wings and from the fuselage. They were manned by the extra gunners, radio operator, and engineers. Mi-323 proved ineffective on the battlefield. On April 22, 1943, a formation of 27 fully loaded Mi-323s was being escorted across the Sicilian Straits by Messerschmitt Bf-109s when it was intercepted by 7 squadrons, Supermarine Spitfires, and Curtiss P-40 Kitty Hawks. Of the 27 transports, 16 or 17 were shot down. 3 or 4 P-40s were shot down by the escorts.